Live. Hello, everyone. Dreena Burton here. We're going to start another tea time with Dreena. Today, we are making chocolate lovers granola. Yeah, another chocolate theme for today. Just adjusting the camera and making sure I have everything here today. I think I do. I think I do. So today's broadcast is brought to you by Plant Power Snacks, which is the ebook that this recipe comes from. But I will share the recipe in the video. So just stay tuned and I'll share the recipe as we go along. And also, I have the winner from last week's Nibble Chocolate. Yes, I have the winner. So stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, just checking. For some reason, I feel like I'm forgetting something today. My cat's meowing in the background, just to let you know. If you hear some meows, he's very upset with his life today. I don't know why. He's just very angry at me. Hi, Cindy. Hello, hello. And hi, Leah. Is everyone feeling a bit funky with the time change? Like, it's weird, right? It's not a lot of time, but it kind of like plays with you. I'm feeling groggy today. I did not sleep the best last night. Anyone else? Yeah. Oh, Lee's saying she's making my creamy house dressing right now, right in the moment. Love it. Awesome. Is that one of your favorites? I'd love to know if that's a favorite. So, okay, I'm going to get into it so I don't spend too much time chatty. And then once it's in the oven, I'll answer questions. And so I want to make this granola and show you. One, it's vegan, right? Dairy-free. It's refined sugar-free. It does have sweeteners in it, but refined sugar-free and oil-free. So many of you, we all see when we go buy granola, it is very hard to find an oil-free granola. I have not found one. And I'm noticing that the more I cook and bake oil-free, and to be very transparent, I do buy products that have some oil in them, right? Like I buy cheeses for the kids, vegan cheeses. I don't eat a lot of them myself, but we'll order pizza with vegan cheese. We'll have some of that. So we have some convenience products with oil in them, vegan convenience products. But when I cook and bake, I just do it oil-free. I've learned to do it. I enjoy it. It's easy. And now when I buy something that does have oil in it, like a granola, I really notice it. They're usually too sweet as well. They're usually very sweet. And there's like that background that you just don't need, that oily taste. Hi, Christine. And Cindy saying, oh, the time change is better than the last one. Yeah, I know. They both mess with you. I went to hot yoga this morning and that helped, I think. It helped to just kind of like be in that zone of doing yoga and sweating it out. Okay, so this recipe is chocolate lovers granola from Plant Power Families. So now, guys, a lot of you have the ebook anyhow, like you already have the ebook, or you picked up the bundle. If you picked up the bundle that was being offered a couple of weeks ago, this is in there, okay? So you'll have it. But I will give you the ingredients and measures today. So we're starting with, I'm gonna get the camera going here. We're starting with 3.5 cups of rolled oats. So that's our rolled oats. My tea's too hot to drink just yet, so I'm just letting it cool down. Hopefully you have a nice tea with you. Rolled oats, and then we're adding, we've got cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And I love making a chocolate granola because, again, that's not often you find a chocolate granola. There are some in stores. I've seen them when I bought them. They don't taste chocolatey enough to me. They just taste sweet. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between tasting the cocoa, really enjoying that cocoa flavor, and it just tasting like sweet. And that's the only flavor profile I'm noticing. Okay, and I did notice there was something I forgot. Either pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds or coconut, or you could use any kind of nut. So I'm just going to grab something from the pantry. Where did my pumpkin seeds go? Okay, you know what? I am actually going to use today some walnuts because I'm using walnut butter in it. So I made it an option to make it nut-free, but I'm going to add a little bit of walnuts, and I'm just going to crush them in my hands. Okay, you know what? I am actually going to use today some walnuts because I'm using walnut butter in it. So I made it an option to make it nut-free, but I'm going to add a little bit of walnuts, and I'm just going to crush them in my hands. Okay, you know what? I am actually going to use today some walnuts because I'm using walnut butter in it. So I made it an option to make it nut-free, but I'm going to add a little bit of walnuts, and I'm just going to crush them in my hands.
So there we go. And you don't have to add the nuts, pumpkin seeds, coconut. If you want to kind of lower the fat a little bit, then you can omit this. But if you want to add some omega-3s, then walnuts have omega-3s. You could also add some hemp seeds. That's a nice option too. All right, I'm just going to crumble that in there. And I need a titch of sea salt. Ah, forgot my sea salt. See, guys, I knew. I'm looking around and I'm like, no. All right, so it's about a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Mix that together, and then we're going to do the wet component. So for the wet ingredients, we're using some nut butter. If you want to make this nut-free, you could use coconut butter. You could use pumpkin seed butter, I think would be nice. Or a combination of like sunflower and pumpkin. I find sunflower has a stronger flavor to me than pumpkin. But either pumpkin, sunflower, or a combination of coconut butter and sunflower, pumpkin. With seeds, it's nice to kind of combine them because they do have a stronger flavor, and then you kind of bypass that one flavor note, and it's a little more enjoyable to me. I'm today using walnut butter, and this is a raw walnut butter, which is really lovely. It's got cashews in it too. It's just walnuts and cashews. There's nothing else in it. And this one is from the company that I buy the vanilla bean powder, which I'm also going to add to the granola, which I don't think it's in. I don't have it in the ingredients to add vanilla, but I really like vanilla with chocolate, so I'm going to add some today. And now we need those wet ingredients. And I will run down the ingredients for you again once it's in the oven. I'll go through it again. So we have a 1/4 cup. I think it's a 1/4 cup. Yep. Is it? Yep. A little bit more. So the nut butter it's really what's replacing what would be the oil in the recipe, but I also find it makes it cluster much better than if you use oil. So I'm a little shy of a 1/4 cup, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm just going to blend it through and see. And if I need a tiny bit more, then I'll add some almond butter. But I have a feeling it will be okay. Yeah, so when you use oil, I find that granola doesn't cluster as well as with nut butter, because when nut butter chills, comes back to room temperature, it gets more dense and solid again. So then the granola becomes more solid again. So it works really well. And then some brown rice syrup. So this is the other thing. This is a new jar. They're buggers to open. Okay, I got to put it under the hot water. What was I saying? Bugger. Okay, stay with me. What was I saying? Something about the nut butter? Gone. Okay, hang on. Okay, I had to run the lid under hot water to get it to open. This is real TV, real live video. I just despise how jars are difficult to open, especially with sweeteners. They get sticky, right? That's why the top gets sticky, and there we go. So brown rice syrup, I think what I was saying is the other element that makes it really clustery is a thick sweetener. So a lot of people ask about brown rice syrup. They don't want to use rice syrup because of many reasons. I don't know. If you want to use a substitute, it needs to be thick. It needs to be really thick to make it clustery. So maple syrup is not thick enough. So I'd recommend getting a coconut nectar and making sure it has the same texture. So also a little tip, before I knew I'd be measuring the brown rice syrup in this measuring cup, a 1/3 cup. So all I did was dip into the walnut butter, got a little bit of like the oil from the walnut butter and coated the inside of the measure so that it just comes out easier. Because, look how thick that is, right? So you want something that's as thick as molasses. And molasses is a very strong flavor for granola. You could add a depends on the flavor profile you're going for. But you want something thick, and date syrup is not usually thick enough. Brown rice syrup is also lower glycemic, I'm pretty sure, than date syrup. So if it's an issue of sweeteners in that sense, then it's usually lower glycemic. I used it in the diabetes cookbook with Dr. Bernard, so I know it's a sweetener that can be used. And then some maple syrup. So again, the reason I use a little of both is I don't want all brown rice syrup, just enough to make it clustery, and then some maple syrup, because I think maple syrup has generally a nicer flavor to me. Whoop, there we go. Guys, you're getting it all here today. The real cooking in action. I got to tell you, this is the first time that I've done a cooking demo and nobody's been in the house. Everyone is always in the house. And today it happens that both the older girls are working. Paul's got Hope at a swim meet. She's been at a swim meet this weekend. And I had to get the older girls to work and that kind of thing. So I'm not at the meet. So yeah, here I am with a little bit of quiet in the house. It's crazy, except for the cat. And now I'm going to add a little vanilla bean powder, because why not? And if you have it, you know how exquisite it is. I use maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon here. I think I put the link in the description for this. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. Wilderness Poets. And that's where the walnut butter is from as well. However, you could use any nut butter in this. It doesn't have to be walnut butter. And I think that's it. Oh, I did put vanilla in the recipe, but not vanilla bean powder. I just used pure vanilla, the extract. So I'm going to mix this through, and then I'm going to show you a couple of options to finish it. Do you hear the cat in the background? He's seriously, like, sometimes I wonder if he even wants to live with us. He was a stray, and so for the first 2 years of his life, I guess he was just outside a lot. And when the sun comes out, and especially in spring, he's just constantly meowing at us to run outside. And whenever we open the front door, he's there, ready to run, like make the big escape. And he's just like always trying to get out. He's funny. He's such a baby, though. He's like a big, big, big baby cat. He's big. There we are, on cue. I know you do not have a good life here, do you? So you just keep mixing it until it starts to come together. It doesn't have to be like fully incorporated. And the reason being is once I put it in the oven, I always mix it through like once during baking. So as the nut butter softens in the heat of the oven, that will also help it come together a little bit more. There. There we go. And it's going to darken as it cooks too. I just see there's like a little bit of extra syrup and stuff here. And so like, I want to get it. That's my thing. And I want to scrape this out a little bit more too. Guys, I'm looking for something good to watch on like Netflix or Crave or something. Give me some ideas. I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of good stuff on. I like series. Give me a series to watch. Something funny maybe. Okay, so there's the granola. I'm going to get it on the pan and then get it into the oven. So get it on the pan and then just spread it out. Now, if you want to add dried fruit to the granola, wait till it bakes. I find when you add the dry granola or add fruit to the dry granola early on, it can burn in the oven. I mean, not burn so much as almost get overcooked. You know how when dried fruit can get a little bit browned almost, depending on where the heat's hitting it on the pan, it can get that burn taste. So what I do is I bake it, and then in the last minute, I add the dried fruit, let it finish off, and then take it out of the oven. Okay, so that's going in. This is a single batch, and I highly encourage making a double batch. So that's going in the oven. I'm going to let that bake for, how long is it? It's 300 degrees. My oven's a little higher, but that's okay. Bake for 25 minutes. Want to come say hello, Sherlock? Come here and say hello. Let's see if he'll say hello. Hang on. Come here and say hello. I know. Say for you. Come here. Okay. Here's our big boy. Say hello. Here we go. Hello. You don't like your life here, do you? I know. I sin. Yeah, he looks so amused. All right, and now I'm going to be full of cat fur. Okay, he sheds a lot too. He's so soft. Okay, so I'm going to check any questions. I'm actually going to pull up a chair for myself too and give you some tips for finishing off the granola. And where did I put my finished granola? I had to hide it so I'd have it for the video. Because if it's in the house and it's like open, you know what happens. Okay, so when the cat here, when the granola is finished, if you want to add dry fruit, add it just like the last minute or two of baking, and then take it out. And what I'm going to do to finish my granola is I'm going to grate on some nibbled chocolate from last week. So I'm going to take the chocolate, this is an 85%, and just grate it on. Or maybe I've got some cocoa nibs. Now, cocoa nibs they're not like chocolate, right? It's the pure nib. It's the actual cocoa, like cacao bean that's crushed. Or maybe it's some of the beans that got crushed. And they're not sweet at all. Cocoa nibs are quite bitter because chocolate without sweetener is bitter. But these cocoa nibs, also from this company, Wilderness Poets, they have a little coating of coconut sugar, just a little bit. And so they're really nice. You can chew them and they have a sweetness because of the dusting of coconut sugar. They're really, really nice. So if you want something as an alternative to chocolate, or you kind of would like the health benefits of the cacao bean or whole foods and raw, there's a nice option for you. So I might sprinkle some of these into the finished granola as well. I might do a bit of both. Yeah. And I'm going to check and see if there's any questions and also show you the finished granola. I mean, it's really easy to make, right? You guys saw how easy that is to make, right? It's super, super easy. So here it is. You can hear how nice and chunky it is coming out. There we go. So see that? Look, nice clusters of granola. And, that's a nice chocolatey whole foods snack. And that was the reason I did this ebook, was to offer snacks that are a little more wholesome, right? So in the ebook, there's, I think I gave you the link to the ebook in the description as well. Is there 2 granola recipes? No, I think it's 1 granola recipe, the Chocolate Lovers Granola. There are little chickpea nuggets. There's a bunch of popcorn recipes, oil-free popcorn recipes, like chocolate popcorn, which I've done. A caramel corn. There's an energy bar, a lot like the midday squares, actually, kind of that notion of a chocolatey protein bar. And what else is in there? There's cookies, an energy cookie, a queso, some Nucci chickpeas, which are really good. So if you have the ebook, try it out. And I'm just going to check your questions here now. Okay, let's see. Hello to everyone who's joined since we started. Jody's saying she sent me a Facebook message. Was it a question? I'm so glad you joined in. I'm glad you got to join in. And Tish said she just made the squash sauce. Awesome. So I did a video on the squash sauce about maybe 3 weeks ago. It was the winter squash sauce. And it uses kabocha squash or butternut or red curry, whatever dark orange squash you like. And didn't love peeling the kombucha. Do you think canned pumpkin would work? Yeah, it would. I mean, the only thing with canned pumpkin is that it's not, to me, it's not quite as dense as, say, a kabocha. So you might not add quite as much liquid, but I think it would work just fine. And, for convenience, good idea. Yeah, I said the time change getting to me, to all of us. I'm still holding that bowl of granola. See that, guys? And I don't eat it as cereal. I like to just, smack on it, straight up. You could have it as cereal with milk, but chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream. Now we're talking. Put it on that. I'm going to have to show you my favorite ice cream, too. Does anyone want to see my favorite current ice cream? Hi, Amber and Leah. I was already said hello, Leah. Oh, she loves the house dressing. That's right. Cindy said she used coconut nectar and worked fabulous. Awesome. Brown rice syrup. Christine, I'll add a link for you after to like Amazon so you can see what it looks like. Most health food stores have it. It's about usually in Canada, it's about usually $9 a jar. In the States, I think it's cheaper. And oh, Melissa just got her order of the Wilderness Post. Do you love it? Do you just open it and smell it sometimes? Or is that just me being weirdo? Melissa's saying to Christine that she gets it at Kroger stores in the States. The brown rice syrup. Nibble chocolates. Tisha's saying she's loving the nibble chocolates. Yay! Yes. And I will give the recipe again, Vicky. I did forget about that, didn't I? Ghosts, new series on. Okay, I'll look into that one. Okay. Will I show you my favorite ice cream before we continue? Well, it's not, okay, I got to tell you, I love a lot of ice creams, but you know what I'm finding lately? Well, since I've had this whole sensitivity to pea protein, it's in ice creams. It's in a lot of ice creams. And I had no idea until, of course, I started looking really closely at the ingredients. But a lot of ice creams now, I think they're using pea protein to either make them more like protein-based for keto people or as a filler. So it's quite disappointing that it's in so many products. But I'm going to show you one that I love that does not have pea protein. And I think this is a Vancouver company. I'm pretty sure it is. Where are they? Yeah, it's in Vancouver. So I'm not sure if folks in the States, if you can get this brand. Nora's. Cindy, you would love this. If you like ice cream, Nora's is a really good brand. Their vanilla reminds me of soft serve. So you remember when you were a kid and you'd get like the soft serve ice cream? We call it custard cones as kids. That's what we always call it, custard cones. Did anyone else call it custard cones? Growing up in Newfoundland, that's what we would call it. And the flavor reminds me of like a custard cone. It's a really nice vanilla. And their strawberry is quite nice too. And I'm not a big strawberry ice cream fan, but I do like this one. And I'm just going to show you, this is a popular brand of ice cream. So I'm not slamming So Delicious, but all of their cashew-based ice creams have pea protein. This is the cashew base, not the coconut. All of these ones, like the dark chocolate truffle, I used to love the caramel cluster one, all have pea protein, as do the Ben and Jerry's, is it? The vegan Ben and Jerry's? Ben and Jerry's? Yes, it is. All of those have pea protein too. So there you go. If it's an issue, you've been told. And I'm going to read out the recipe for the granola again and have a sip of my tea and some nibble chocolate. By the way, the owners of Nibble Chocolate told me I can host a giveaway, so I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to host a giveaway that's open to Canada and the US, hopefully, so that people in Canada can try it. And I'm going to talk to them about delivery to Canada, because right now it's only in the States. But boy, oh boy, it's good. It's good chocolate. I'm just going to... I love the 85%. Okay. So for those of you who want the recipe, who don't have the ebook, but if you got the bundle, it's in the bundle. And the ebook link is there if you want to pick it up. So it's 3.5 cups of rolled oats, 1/3 cup of nut butter or seed butter. But if you're doing seed butter, I would recommend either using all coconut butter or half and half, like half coconut butter, half seed butter, just to cut out that bitterness of the seeds. 1/4 cup of either unsweetened coconut or pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds or whatever nuts you want. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/3 cup of brown rice syrup or another thick syrup like a coconut nectar, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. I used about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of the vanilla bean powder. And then if you want to add dried fruit, maybe about 1/4 cup of raisins or goji berries. I'm loving goji berries right now. I'm eating them every night like crazy. And I never really liked them before because they're not a sweet dried fruit. They're just really chewy. And then optional, once you take the granola out, you can sprinkle on some chocolate chips. So I'm going to pretend the granola is done now and pull it out and show you what I'm going to do. So let's pretend it's done. It has about another 10 minutes. So this is actually when I would stir it about. Anyways, I'll just give it a little stir around because the granola on the edges always gets cooked quicker. And then I will maybe sprinkle in a little bit of coconut nibs like so. Yummy, yummy. And maybe take a little bit of nibble chocolate. And I would actually wait for this to cool another maybe 5 to 10 minutes so that it's not hot, but just warm. Because as soon as the chocolate hits it, it's going to melt a lot. And I'd like the chocolate not to melt quite so much. This is a really fine grater, though. I'm going to get a different one. Yeah, let's try this one. And then just grate on a little bit of chocolate. The chocolate is melting in my fingers over the heat of the granola. I'm not kidding. And my phone is ding-dinging. I think I have to go pick up one of the kids. So there we are. My time alone has expired, guys. So there we are. There's the granola. And I just want to show you the part where I just put on the chocolate. Can you see that right there? All that little chocolatey goodness on top of it right there. See it? Yum, yum, yum. Right there. Yum, yum. And if you wanted to add some dried fruit, like I said, add it at the end. Just sprinkle a little over. And the heat of the granola, the last minute or so in the oven, will heat it through just enough. Plump it up a little bit. And then as it cools down, it will continue to plump in the heat of the granola as it cools down. So that's it. And we have a winner from last week for the nibble chocolate. And I don't think you're here with me now, but I did answer your comment on the video. So it was Cindy Zizek. So I will, I have actually mentioned your name on the video and for you to reach out to me by email, okay? And that's it for today. I have to go check my phone and who's beeping me and see what's going on. Enjoy the granola. I think I answered all the questions. I will check after to see if there's any extras. And yeah, enjoy the longer sunny days. Hopefully sunshine anyways. And we'll see you soon, guys. Okay, have a great day. Bye.